Up to over one yesterday, and as you've seen yourselves, the only inference that one can draw from the conduct of the opposition, particularly the BJP in the Rajya Sabha, coupled with the proceedings in the Lok Sabha on 27th and the wasted day of 28th, is only that they were interested in not passing the Lokpal bill. There were continuous demands over the last few months from different quarters. The Government of India had as many as 9 rounds of talks with the team led by Shri Anna Hazare in drafting the initial piece of legislation. And during that time, after the talks with them, there were 2 all-party meetings that the government organized in July and August. And on the basis of the consensus amongst all the political parties, it was on 27th of August 2011 that the Finance Minister and the Leader of the House of Lok Sabha made a solemn pledge on behalf of the Parliament to the people of India in a resolution which is termed as the Sense of the House Resolution. And the 3 salient features thereof were that the Parliament will enact a law which will deal with the Citizens' Charter, which will deal with bringing the lower bureaucracy within the ambit of Lok Ayukt through appropriate mechanism, and Lok Ayukts for the states. It was on the basis of that after the report was received from the Standing Committee, the government again had a meeting with the leaders of all political parties in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha on 14th of December. And on the basis of the discussions, because there was no consensus there, on the basis of the discussions, the government formulated its views as to this is broadly the area on which there is some convergence. On the basis of that, the amendments were incorporated in the bill, and a new bill incorporating a large number of amendments was brought before the House. That was discussed in the Lok Sabha on 27th. The BJP in particular opposed that bill. The BJP also opposed and succeeded in opposing our effort to confer a constitutional status on the Lokpal, which would have in fact imbibed strength to that institution. Next day, on 28th, the bill was ready and circulated by 2 p.m. We approached them that we could start the discussion in the Rajya Sabha on 28th itself, and if necessary, it could go on even for the whole day, because again, as a buffer, as we had earlier thought of, as a cushion, 29th was available to us. It was specifically declined by them, and they said we will start the discussion only on 29th. Discussion started yesterday, and discussion continued up to 11:30. The minister was replying to the debate. There was some restlessness on the opposition benches, and suddenly we found a ruckus being created there, which led to the House being adjourned for 15 minutes when the members from the both houses rose. That was the stage which you will recollect when I said that the House has to adjourn by 12 midnight, and the bill will remain pending on the register of Rajya Sabha, and the next time we can consider the amendments, the notices for amendments, and pass the bill. Now here I would like to again come to why I said that. That is very important, because I was pained to hear none other than the leader of the opposition, who is considered to be the most important person after the leader of the House, his 2 remarks. First, he said the debate was choreographed by the government, only with an idea to finally put an end to the debate at 12. That is the first point which pains me. The second was that they said there is murder of democracy. Now, I in fact level this charge on them. But let me come to the first point, and I can very well illustrate that point, that right up to that time, the BJP was participating in the discussion. They at no point of time said at 5, 6, any time, let's call an end to the debate. We want to stop us fielding our speakers and let's go for consideration of the bill. That is the clause by clause consideration. They did not say. They kept fielding their own members till the last. And there were large number of opposition members from different parties who participated in the discussion. The question that I asked them is simple. Did we give their names? Did we give their names? Therefore, why make that preposterous allegation of saying the government had choreographed the proceedings, which also casts reflection on the chair when the chair is in a position not to say anything. The chair doesn't get into this mudslinging or any reply to the allegations which are leveled by anyone. That was the first thing. And why I say is that in fact they are guilty of stalling the proceedings for the simple reason that they did not want this bill to be passed. I said one point, and I want to reiterate that here, that there were as many as 187 amendments moved by different members, and good many of them are in fact very contradictory ones. Now here's a very important point that I have to make. It is the right of the members of any party, for that matter any individual member, to move any amendment. Those amendments are given notice of. There's adequate notice has to be given, but because of the shortage of time I can understand they wasn't given. But since after the bill was passed by the Lok Sabha and all the parties are represented in Lok Sabha, and on the basis of some of the amendments suggested by the leaders of the opposition, the government had conceded ground, government had reconciled to accepting some of the amendments. Then obviously the government, in consultation with the law department, fine-tunes those amendments which it accepts, because that has to be part of the law, has to be part of the statute book. Law-making, for that matter, is a serious procedure. Members, when they give their notices for questions, for short duration discussions or for amendments, are not really expected to be fully conversant with the legal language that has to be used. So with those amendments being there, there had to be time with the government to consider those amendments. And the amendments which the government would still consider to be okay, the government could accept. There can never be a situation where, for instance, this is a hypothetical case which I am giving, that an amendment were to be forced by a member of the opposition and the amendment were to be carried. Suppose, because you were all asking one question about the numbers, the question which you will raise later, I am only taking a hypothetical question at the moment. Suppose an amendment were to be carried. What would that mean? That the minister at the end of the day would have to stand up and say, I move that the bill as amended be passed. Will any government ever do that? Can any government ever do that? And therefore my allegation is that they brought in large number of amendments only to see that the bill does not proceed further.
Number 2 in the revised list of business for today.
Only to see that the bill is stalled. Often you would hear them saying that they wanted a strong Lokpal bill. Now I don't want to take your time. If I wish to refer to some of the amendments which have been made are contradictory. One member says, explain further, what do you mean by not less than half of the members representation shall be given to OBCs, SCs, STs, etc. That was the demand. Others say remove that word. If both those amendments were to be incorporated, what would happen? One member says, I'm not saying as to what happened on the floor of the House, because some members even tore the copy of the bill and they wanted in fact the bill to be just not be taken up at all. I'm not referring to what happened on the floor. I'm talking of the amendments which becomes the responsibility of the Government of India to look into. And there one member says, create an investigation wing for the Lokpal and put CBI under the Lokpal. I'll refer to that point a little again. And while one member says, remove that from the Lokpal and remove that reference to section 173 of the CRPC and say that the investigation report prepared by the CBI shall be submitted to the court of competent jurisdiction. They wanted to take away that power completely from the Lokpal. Now, which of these two would you amend there? If all the amendments were to be accepted, as they were saying, will it not lead to a situation whereby the parliament would be rendered as a laughing stock in the eye of the people? We would render ourselves to the ridicule and mockery of the people at large. And that is the responsibility of the government. That is the difference between the functions of the opposition and the government. We have said that, now take a situation. Suppose one amendment were to be accepted yesterday. अगर एक संशोधन कल पारित हो गया होता, उसके बाद क्या होता? वो उसके बाद लोकसभा में आना था, लोकसभा adjourn हो चुकी थी, साइन डाई, तो वो उसका मतलब ये है कि अगले सत्र में, यानी कि जब बजट सत्र होता तो वो उस वक्त लोकसभा में आता, तो उसके बाद वो राज्यसभा में जाता वापस। लोकसभा उसके दौरान उसमें कोई और संशोधन कर सकती थी, उसी संशोधन में, उसके आगे नहीं बढ़ सकती दायरे में। उन्होंने मान ली एक संशोधन कर दिया, उसी संशोधन के बीच में लोकसभा कोई और संशोधन करके इनके पास भेज सकती थी। फिर ये कहते नहीं हम पहले पे बज़िद हैं, फिर लोकसभा कहती हम पहले पे बज़िद हैं, फिर जॉइंट सेशन पे जाता। कितना समय उस चीज़ पे लग सकता था? कल, यानी कि आज और कल या अगले सेशन में सिर्फ 2 दिन का अंतर है, और उससे ज़्यादा अंतर नहीं इस बात में, क्योंकि बिल कल के बाद हर हालत में लोकसभा में जाना था। और अब अगर हम इसको जब बजट सेशन में ले लेंगे और इतने दौरान ये सभी जो संशोधनों के उन्होंने नोटिस दिए हैं, इन पे चर्चा हो जाएगी, कहाँ कैसे बना सकते हैं, कौन सा माना जा सकता है, कौन सा नहीं मानने के काबिल, तब हम उसके बाद फैसला कर सकते हैं। और उसमें कोई अंतर नहीं, सिर्फ राजनीति खेलने के लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने ये किया। मैं मान सकता हूँ पार्टीज अपना समय समय पे अपना जो रवैया होता है, अपने विचार होते हैं, बदलते हैं, लेकिन एक दिन में विचार बदल लें। लोकसभा में कुछ कहा जा रहा है, सेंस ऑफ द हाउस का मैंने जिक्र किया, उसमें ये जिक्र है, और ये मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ कि हमारी एक बिल्कुल सॉलम प्लेज थी लोगों को कि हम लोक आयुक्त को लाएंगे, यानी कि लोकपाल एक मजबूत सशक्त लोकपाल सिर्फ केंद्र के मुलाजमों के लिए नहीं बनेगा।